Today's video is all about the 4 T's of bridal. And good morning, Tina. I am dual broadcasting on Instagram and on Facebook. This is Dawn Rose. Good morning, Donna. I am by day a hairstylist and makeup artist, bridal specialist, and by night I try and help other hair and makeup artists start and grow their business in hair and makeup, but using this wonderful world that is the wedding industry. So I can help you guys attract brides who book you in advance, pay you on time, and don't haggle your prices. So I'll be checking your comments. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for those of you joining me on the replay. Make sure you can let me know that you can hear me, and give me some thumbs up or hearts wherever you guys are right now, and just let me know that the sound is good. I'm thinking that I'm completely live. I can just check onto my Facebook page. I know I'm live. Thank you, Tina. I know I'm live. And Donna, thank you so much, guys. That's great. So I'm glad that I'm live this morning. Good morning, Brooke. How are you going today? Well done over the weekend on your amazing message. I think you nailed it. I think it's good. You've got some great ideas going on over the weekend, Brooke. That was awesome. So I'm really glad that we had a chat, and I'm hoping that you managed to get like a few things done. I know you were trying. So this morning I am going to go over my 4 T's of bridal. Now I know it should be maybe the 4 B's of bridal or the 4 W's of weddings, but it just didn't work out that way. So and they always seem to start with a T. So it's my 4 T's of bridal, and the 4 T's are trial, teach, time, and treat. Now the reason why I kind of group them together, because I feel like they're probably the 4 most important aspects of our wedding business. So I just want to cover them today, and if you want to read more about them, I've got lots of different resources over dawnsbridalarmy.com. But I am actually going to be teaching today the 4 T's. So I'm going to start off with my T number 1, which is the trial. And obviously being part of our bride's wedding day, the trial is so important. It's probably one of the most important things we can do, right? Is to have a trial with our brides. I feel like it's, for me personally, I've always been, if there's no trial, there's no wedding. And I will say no to a bride if they will not accept a trial from me. I really feel like when it comes to a trial, as I said, we're planning for the most amazing day of the year, right, for the brides. And if you turn up to a wedding day having not been at a trial, and you turn up and, perhaps you don't do a very good job because, hey, we've never seen the bride before. We don't know what their skin's like. We don't know what their hair's like. We turn up to the wedding and, we do an okay job, but she's not particularly happy. The thing is that she's not going to be thinking to herself, oh, it's my fault because I didn't have a trial. No, she's going to be thinking that makeup artist was useless. She didn't really know what she was doing. She wasn't very good with me. She took too long, etc., etc. So the thing is that by not having this trial, we end up becoming the bad person in the story when, in a way, we kind of need to take a little bit of that responsibility on us. So I am always one to say, T for trial, you must tell brides that they have to have a trial for their wedding day. Again, it's all about that reputation, and it's all about, as well, remember we talked a few weeks ago, for those of you that joined me on bootcamp, if you haven't joined me for bootcamp, you can watch all the replays, and there's a link in my bio, and you can go to the bootcamp replays. But on bootcamp, I said that we really want to give our brides the best experience possible, right? We want to take them so that they are going to sing from the rooftops and refer us to all their friends and family. And the trial is included in that. Giving them that amazing trial is super important in order for them to turn around and say, oh my gosh, she was brilliant. She turned up at the house. She got, my 6 bridesmaids done. We were all on time. We all looked amazing. We were all out the door. I wasn't late. She's so impressed with us. Again, it's all about that experience that we're providing with our brides. And it starts at that trial. If we've done the trial, we're already prepared. We know their skin, we know their hair. We can consult about our bridesmaids. The bridesmaids, I don't always insist on bridesmaids trials. Bridesmaids trials are, I would say, optional, because it is all about the bride, but I would definitely consult with those brides at the trial as well. Tell me a little bit about your bridesmaids, what you're having, what's their hair and makeup going to be, how's their skin, if you're concerned or if she's concerned about any brides. Sometimes we get bridesmaids who maybe have hair extensions in all the time, or maybe there's a bride that wants all her girls to look the same, but she knows she's got 2 of her girls that have got short hair and 2 with long hair. Well, this is the kind of stuff that you can work out at the trial and say, okay, it's okay, we can do that. If you're going to have everyone the same, you probably don't want to go with anything down there. We want to go with something up, because chances are we can, tease that hair and everything with those short people and get them to look very similar to the other girls with the longer hair. So we definitely need to consult, and we definitely need to make notes about our bridal parties. But certainly speaking, when it comes to the bride, the trial is going to be the key to like that successful day. That's what they need from you as their hair and makeup artist. You're the expert. We need to be the expert. We know what we're doing, and we want to turn up and be professional and be the expert in hair and makeup. And that's why they're coming to us, because they're not hair and makeup artists, generally speaking. So we're there to be the expert. All right, my second T of bridal, so that was trial. My second T of bridal is to teach. And I know that this is something that we all really struggle with. I know a lot of you, even in Bridal Business School, you guys, some of you are training with me at the moment. And when you get to your module 8, it's all about creating content to teach on social media. And I know that's something where you guys have got a lot of resistance. There are some hair and makeup artists that go on consistent. You guys watch them on YouTube, right? Or we watch the short videos over on Instagram. And there are hair and makeup artists that will go live consistently, and it doesn't bother them. They set up their camera and they shoot what they're doing. And I know that being on camera for some people is scary. It's scary for me even now. And this is like what I've been doing this nearly 2 years now. And I still take a big deep breath before I hit that live button. Trust me, you just have to be prepared. That's one of the things I will say. I talk about teach in the way of tell them something that they don't know. Tell them something that you can really help them with regards to their hair, with regards to their skin. Talk to them about their wedding day. Talk to them about how they can prep themselves for wedding day. Tell them when they need to have their hair highlighted before wedding day. Talk to them about whether they may need hair extensions or padding in their hair. Do another video about eye shapes, maybe about face shapes. You can, as hair and makeup artists, as beauticians, as cosmetologists, we know, we are the experts. We know what it is our brides needs to be able to do and have in order for us to create them the most perfect look on wedding day, or on excuse me guys, on wedding day, or on even at the trial. So we really need to be prepared. Teach them something. Use social media to teach your brides what they need to know about their wedding hair and makeup. Okay, so number 3 was time. So I was just covering that before I had to cut off. So time is basically, time is everywhere in what we do, right? Time is all about our timing and how we're going to structure our time. Timing is about on the day, how we're going to structure our bride's day. That's really important. Who's going to be in the chair at what time? I think that time it's probably one of the biggest. All these 4 things are big in our businesses, but I think time is probably one of the bigger ones, because everything that we do is based around timing. We want to get these, even when it comes to learning our up styles and learning our makeup looks, it's all about time. We've got to get them done. Bridal hair and makeup is very different, I think, to any other kind of makeup, because we're needing to do things fast track, right? We don't have the time to sit and play with hair. We've got to get things done because they've got to be out the door at a certain point in time. And we've got this schedule, and we've got to meet the certain point, whether that be when the photographer arrives or when the cars arrive to take them to the church. It's really, timing is everything when it comes to your bridal business. So I always recommend to my students to set up a schedule with the bride for on the day. I always recommend that you contact the photographers and find out when they're going to arrive, because I think it's always nice when the photographer arrives to you for you to have maybe the bride in your chair at that time, so that the photographer comes in and can take those shots of you just kind of finishing up with the bride. And whether they come a few hours early, some photographers come right at the end. They're like there for like 10-15 minutes just to catch that walking to the car, just getting dressed, etc. Some brides will be there all morning. So it's really important. Good morning, Melanie. So it's really important with our timing that we make sure that we are on time. Hey, Dal, it's been a while. We need to make sure that our timing is, everything is to the point. And, you know, it's not just about scheduling the bride's day, it's about scheduling our time, especially if some of you are doing multiple weddings on one day, which I know a lot of you do. I know lovely Tina. She's over on Instagram at the moment. Tina does sometimes multiple weddings on a day because that's the nature of her business. She does, you know, a lot of brides. So it's timing. You know, you've got to finely tune what we do as bridal stylists right down, you know, to the last second in a way. All right. So my fourth T of bridal is to treat. Now, last week, was it last week? Yeah, I think I did it last week. I did a little show and tell with everyone, and I was showing you guys what I do to treat my bridal parties. And I kind of wanted to share that with you because I think having this little treat, taking these little gift packs to my brides, and as I said before, this is nothing. For those of you who didn't catch my live last week, you can go onto Facebook, or even if you click on the link in the bio and look in my previous training, you can go ahead, and it's all on YouTube. I upload my videos each week onto my YouTube channel so that it's there for everyone to watch. But I talked about how I started off when I was sort of commanding maybe a lesser price for my work. I was taking a tiny little gift bag, and it was a little makeup bag. It was about, you know, this big. It was tiny, little makeup bag, but in it, I'd put in the band-aids, I put in the safety pins and bobby pins and little breath mints, things like that. And then as my business grew and I commanded a higher price, you know, the scale of that went up a little bit. I'd put in maybe a little nail varnish, but I would source I'd source all the items for those little goodie bags from the dollar shops. You don't need to spend a lot of money, but you make a big impact. So I think that my little treats were great. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, I thought they were a really good idea. And as I said, it just, for me, as I said, I started at the beginning, I would only treat the bride. And then as time goes on and you think to yourself, you know what, it's quite nice to hand these out to the bridal party too. Maybe you do something a little bit extra special for the bride and you give these little things out to whoever it is you're doing hair and makeup for. Don't get me wrong. If you're not doing their hair and makeup, they don't get it. So Melanie says, my brides and their parties love touch-up kits. Yes. So Melanie, what I was saying was last week was that I feel like the touch-up kits, they should pay for, right? Again, it depends on what kind of price you're commanding. I mean, if you're commanding a price of, you know, a few $100s for a face of makeup, then maybe you include those touch-up kits within that. But and I think that we should try and sell our touch-up kits too. So if you guys sell, you know, if you have makeup and you have these touch-up kits, then I definitely think that we should be encouraging our brides that they need this touch-up kit for their wedding day. Melanie says a bride gets full-size clutch, the attendants get mini versions. That's lovely. Yeah, it's really nice. And I think that, you know what that does, Melanie? It makes you stand out to that bride. It makes you build it into your rate. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what you've got to do. This is why I said at the beginning when I started, and you know, I started way back when, and I was only charging $50 a face or $60 a face, you know, and then when you're charging that kind of money, you know, you might not want to be, you know, giving away the farm, right? You don't want to give away anything. Tina says, we charge 120 per face and our touch-up kits are 69. So that's on top of the 120, right, Tina? So Tina's got some amazing products that she sells from her studio and obviously puts together kits for her brides. So her touch-up kits are, yeah, on top of that. The ones that I did, because they're really in a way of, yes, she said, yeah, they're on top of. It's because they're of no value as such. You know, I mean, what does it cost me to buy a whole bag of safety pins and a whole box of Band-Aids and a whole, you know, 10 pack of little mini mints from, like, you know, the reject shops and the dollar shops and stuff? It barely costs me anything. So, like, same with Melanie, it was something I would build into my price. And as I commanded a higher price, you know, those gift packs, they got a little bit better. But I think that treating our brides to something is a great way to make an impact on them. And you will stand out to those brides and those bridesmaids. That's the other thing, remember. Yes, technically speaking, right, our brides, they only get married once. So the chances of repeat income from our brides is kind of slim, because having them come back into our chair, we do want them to do that. but the more you've got, probably more of a chance of getting those bridesmaids to book you for a bridal party. So if you make an impact on the people around your bride and not just the bride itself, you've got more chance of getting future bookings from those people as well. And that's what we need to be thinking about. Tina's saying she has powder, blotting paper, lipstick, bobby pins, Q-tips and tissues. Yeah, but you love the free gift ideas. Yeah, so Tina, again, as I said, I don't spend a lot of money on those free gifts, and the little makeup bags. I think I got them from like Daiso. I don't know if you guys have Daiso up in New South Wales and Sydney, but again, like a $2.80 bag, or I may have even got them in bulk. You know, you can buy them even on eBay in bulk. Buy a big bulk of the little things. Melanie says, I got these cute clutches from Walmart and Target and $3 each, so I stocked up. Yeah, stocked up, exactly. The bride gets a bottle of pink Moscato also built into the rate. See, Melanie, I love that. Absolutely. And it's the same for me. When I used to turn up to the bride, I always used to bring her something. And mine would normally be flowers, because I'm actually a florist by trade as well. So I normally, when I was doing flowers, I did flowers, hair and makeup. I've got a diploma in floristry. And for a long time, I did all of that. And so I would bring the bride a beautiful like bouquet of flowers, like a box of flowers that she could have. That was like my gift to her that I would bring to the wedding day, and that would just sit on the side for her or in a vase, etc. But the same kind of thing. You're giving her something fancy. Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea. I do like the idea of the Moscato. Melanie, I love it, she says. Yeah, I know, right? It does sound nice. But, I mean, what bride wouldn't like that if you turned up to her wedding with, yeah, and the bouquet was nice too. What bride doesn't like it, though, when you turn up to their wedding and, yes, you're providing them with a service. You're the professional, you're the expert, and, you know, you're there to do a job and she's paying you for a job. But these are things I never used to sort of advertise that they would have this, because I felt like it was something that I would just turn up with. And it's all about, you know what they say? They say under promise and over deliver. So whatever you're doing in business, you under promise and you over deliver. So you always kind of surprise your clients with extra things that perhaps they wouldn't have expected before, which I really like. I really like the idea of doing that. And I kind of try to do that a little bit in when I'm teaching you guys as well. So, you know, I try and, for example, I did the magazine this week, and I added on a little freebie, a little download as extra on top of that. You know, people kind of hopefully expecting the fact that I was doing my bridal business magazine, and I'm trying to do one a month. So there'll be another one at the beginning of March. But inside that, not just reading through, I did a few extra things within that. So it's just about being able, under promise, over deliver. Thank you, Melanie, for putting that into the comments. It is. I think you've got to have that edge. Exactly. Melanie's on Instagram, she's saying you've got to have the edge, and you absolutely do. This is about making an impact on your brides. And remember, I said in boot camp that it's not good enough anymore that we are just good hair. We do good hair and we do good makeup. Yes, that's really important, but it's not as important now as the service that you're providing your brides. I feel like that our skills, I'm sorry, I know my voice is going, I'll head off in a second, guys, but as stylists, our skills probably only form 20 to 40% of our business. That 60 to 80% of our business is how we treat our customers and how we treat the brides and how we give them, we make that impact on them, and how we give them the experience that they're after. I watched the most fantastic, I watched an Instagram live the other day by the amazing Ray Torregano. Some of you guys may know him. I think it's Torregano Tribe on Instagram. And he had this little analogy, and he was talking about how his car had to go in the shop, and he got a replacement car, but it was a car, you know, it was like an older type of car where, you know, you put the key in the lock. It wasn't one that was a clicker. You put the key in the lock, you turn the lock, it goes, you wound down the windows. We all remember the car, right? You wound down the window. There was no cruise control. There was no, you know, pressing the button for your windows to go up and down, right? And he was saying about this car. And he said, because the thing is that this car was perfect. It got me from where I was to where I wanted to be. But the difference between having, like, say, a Ford and a Mercedes with the heated seats and the cup holders and the electric windows and stuff is the experience, right? I can get from A to B in a Ford, but it's going to be a lot more luxurious if I go from A to B in a Mercedes. And I kind of really agreed with him. I'm like, it's all about the experience, right? You know, if we want to be providing our clients, or we want to get these clients to come back to us over and over again, or to refer us to new people, we've got to give them the most luxurious experience that we can afford as business owners, and that will meet our target needs. Now remember, you know, this is not about always providing a luxury service and, you know, you live in the back of nowhere and you barely get any brides, and, you know, the brides that you do get can't afford it. We have to look at our target market. We have to look at where we are around us in our situation. You know, there's no point providing this crazy service if you're never, ever, ever going to appeal to any brides. It's all about knowing who we're going to appeal to. But I just thought it was a great analogy of saying, you know, it doesn't really matter who you are. Like, the car got me there. The car did what it was supposed to do. We're great makeup artists and hairstylists. We can get them where they need to be. There's lots of us that can do that. But what's the experience going to be like with us over someone else? The experience has got to be better. We've got to have that edge, as Melanie said. We've got to have that edge against anyone else. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to say today before my throat goes. So trial, teach, time, treat. Trial, really important. Must trial your brides. No trial, no wedding. I know I'm preaching at Tina because, you know, I know what Tina's like when it comes to her trial. Tina, are you doing more trials in your studio? I wonder. She knows. I always tell her about the trials. So teach. We need to teach our bride something. Get on social media, guys. Get on Facebook. Get on Instagram. Go live and start teaching your brides things that they wouldn't know. Remember, you're the expert. They're not hairstylists and makeup artists. 9 times out of 10 or 99. So many. Yay, that's so good. 9 times out of 10, maybe even more than that, 99% of the time, we don't tend to do hair and makeup for other hair and makeup artists, right? Unless that is your niche. We are doing it for people that don't know so much or don't know as much as we do about hair and makeup. So get on your social media. I want you to try and do this once a week. Get on social media and teach them something. Tell them something. Tell them about pin placement. Tell them about why they need to primer, whether they should be moisturizing their face in the morning and what that means. When you feel like they should have their highlights done before their wedding, if you're doing hair ups like I did, and I wasn't a hairdresser at the time when I was doing my hair ups, I would say, okay, get your hair cut and colored, but give me at least, you know, 3 or 4 days. I needed a minimum of 3 or 4 days before you come and have your updo, because otherwise the hair was just way too clean. So things like that, teach them something. And then timing is, you know, the most important thing we can do. Schedule your time. Get really I'm all about doing things as efficiently as possible. So get all those emails in place. Get email providers sending out emails. You know, have everything set up in the background to just tick over for you, and then treat those brides to those little gifts to make you stand out from the crowd. All right, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for coming with me. All right, guys, I will speak to you again next week. Any questions, please drop them below, and I shall speak to you again soon. Bye, Tina. Bye, Melanie. See you, girls. All right, see you later, everyone.